What's up, explorers? Amazing Journeys is back with another epic adventure, and this time we're ditching the concrete jungle for a place that's older than your grandma's grandma times 1,000. That's right, we're hitting up Arnhem Land, Australia's wild, wild north. Welcome to the real Australia. This ain't no ordinary vacation, folks. This place is so epic, it just landed a spot in Getaway's top 10 Aussie destinations. We're talking 97,000 square kilometers of raw, untamed wilderness that's bigger than Ireland. We're talking waterfalls you can practically hear roaring from space, critters you've only seen in your dreams, and a culture that's been vibing since the Stone Age for over 65,000 years. According to archaeological evidence found at the Majid Beba rock shelter. Feast your eyes on these incredible cliffs, Ubia and Yolngu. These iconic sites aren't just rock formations, they're living history, etched with ancient Aboriginal art and stories. But these aren't just any old cliffs. Ubia and Yolngu hold fascinating mythological stories. The Yolngu people say that a giant ancestral serpent, Nabalil, created these cliffs as it moved across the land. And those rock paintings, they're the marks left by Nabalil. Some say you can still feel the spirit of Nabalil watching over this land. Imagine yourself here, just like the Aboriginal people have been for thousands of years, marveling at these cliffs which rise up to 50 meters high, offering views that stretch across the timeless landscapes of Kakadu. And as the sun dips below the horizon, get ready for a sunset you'll never forget. This is Kakadu, where adventure meets ancient history. Now I know what you're thinking. Arnhem Land, where in the world is that? Well, picture this, Australia's Northern Territory, way up in the northeast corner. This place is so remote, it wasn't even discovered by Europeans until 1623. But here's the kicker, this land wasn't undiscovered. It was already home to the Yolngu people, who had been living here for over 65,000 years. But hold on tight, because this ain't no ordinary island getaway. We're talking a land where waterfalls put Niagara Falls to shame, rainforests are straight out of Avatar, and grasslands stretch further than your eye can see. This land is a living museum of the world's oldest living cultures, with ancient rock art hidden throughout its landscapes. It's also a biodiversity hotspot, teeming with unique wildlife found nowhere else on Earth. For thousands of years, the Yolngu lived in harmony with this land, according to their own laws and customs. They cared for this land and managed its resources for countless generations. But when Europeans arrived, they claimed ownership of the land, ignoring the Yolngu's traditional connection. It wasn't until 1976, with the Aboriginal Land Rights Act, that the Yolngu's rights were finally recognized. This groundbreaking law was a huge victory for Yolngu. It allows them to decide who can visit and how the land is used. They are protecting their cultural heritage and this pristine environment for future generations. Because this place is so special, you need a permit to even set foot in this paradise. So if you're ready for a truly unique adventure, start planning your trip and apply for your permit. But be warned, only a limited number are issued each year, so you'll need to be organized. All right, nature lovers, prepare for sensory overload. Imagine yourself perched atop those epic cliffs, gazing down at floodplains that seem to stretch on forever. Then venture into hidden gorges where lush rainforests thrive, a perfect hideaway for all sorts of curious critters. Did you know that Arnhem Land boasts over 1,600 plant species and 300 bird species? And speaking of critters, don't forget your swimsuit. Jim Falls is calling your name. This ain't no ordinary waterfall, folks. We're talking a thundering cascade of water plunging 200 meters with a flow rate that could fill an Olympic swimming pool in minutes. It'll make you feel like you're standing under a giant shower head. But there's more to this waterfall than meets the eye. The Yolngu people believe that within these powerful waters dwell the Nemargarn, spirit beings who protect this land and bring the rains that nourish all living things. They say that if you listen closely, you can hear the voices of the Nemargarn in the roar of the falls. And if one waterfall ain't enough, we've got twin falls, 2 for the price of 1. It's like Mother Nature said, hold my beer, I'm gonna create something truly spectacular. Now, all this awesomeness sits on the Arnhem Plateau. This ain't no flat pancake, people. We're talking rugged terrain, hidden valleys, and secret swimming holes just begging to be discovered. It's like a giant adventure playground, just waiting for you to explore. But don't worry, it ain't all cliffs and waterfalls. We've got grasslands too. Miles and miles of them, perfect for a picnic, a game of frisbee, or just lying back and watching the clouds go by. Just watch out for those kangaroo droppings. And then there's the coast, rugged beaches, hidden coves, and islands dotting the horizon. It's like the Caribbean, but with way fewer tourists and way more, well, crocodiles. But hey, that's all part of the adventure, right? Calling all animal lovers, Arnhem Land is a wildlife wonderland. Kangaroos bouncing around like they own the place, wallabies chilling in the shade, and those adorable little quolls that look like a cross between a cat and a weasel. Seriously, Google them, they're adorable. And the birds? Forget your boring pigeons, folks. We're talking over 260 species of feathered friends. Eagles soaring overhead, parrots with more colors than a rainbow, and all kinds of water birds hanging out in the billabongs. Speaking of billabongs, these little watering holes are teeming with life. You might spot a turtle taking a dip or a fish jumping out of the water. But watch out for those snappy crocodiles. Yeah, that's right, crocodiles, big ones. So maybe skip the skinny dipping, okay, but hey, if you're lucky or maybe unlucky, you might catch a glimpse of one of these prehistoric predators, just, from a safe distance. But here's the thing about Arnhem Land. It ain't just about the scenery and wildlife, it's about the people who call this place home. And that's where things get really interesting. We're talking about the Yolngu, the keepers of one of the oldest living cultures on Earth. These guys make up the majority of Arnhem Land's population that's 12,000 strong out of just over 16,000 people. For thousands of years, they've lived in harmony with this land, hunting, gathering, and sharing those mind-blowing Dreamtime stories. But wait, there's more. The Yolngu have this thing called polygamy. Yeah, you heard that right. One man, multiple wives. It's estimated that around 10% of Yolngu marriages are polygamous. It's all part of their unique social structure and beliefs. But don't get it twisted, these guys are all about community. They share everything, look after each other, and keep their traditions alive. They're like one big, happy family. And the traditions go beyond stories and art. These guys have some serious skills. Did you know the Yolngu are musical geniuses? They've got these incredible instruments like the didgeridoo, this long wooden tube that makes the coolest sounds. And they're masters of rhythm and song with traditions passed down through generations. They've even got their own medicine men called Margiti who use traditional herbs and, get this, magic to heal people. And now let's head west and meet another incredible group of Aboriginal people, the Bininj. These guys are the guardians of a land that's practically frozen in time. They call it Kuadiwadavad, which basically means stone country. And it's home to some of the oldest rock art on the planet. We're talking 30,000 years old paintings, folks. That's like holding a piece of history, 7 times older than the pyramids of Egypt, 7 times older than the standing stones of Stonehenge. It's a mind-blowing glimpse into the deep past of humanity, a time when humans were just beginning to leave their mark on the world. And because this place is so remote and rugged, the Bininj people have held on to their culture, their traditions, and their secrets, passing them down through countless generations, keeping them alive in this ancient landscape. And get this, the Bininj are masters of fire. They've been using controlled burns for centuries to manage the land, prevent wildfires, and keep the ecosystem healthy. Talk about eco-warriors. The Bininj are also experts at finding bush tucker, those edible plants and grubs that keep you alive in the outback. They know which plants are good to eat, which ones are poisonous, and how to cook up a delicious meal using only what nature provides. The Bininji have their own unique ceremonies and traditions, like the Kunabibi ceremony that celebrates the coming of age for young men, and the Yabunji ceremony, which honors the relationship between the people and the land. They celebrate their connection to the land, the spirits of their ancestors, and the power of the Dreamtime. It's a culture that's rich, vibrant, and full of surprises. And here's the coolest part. The Bininj are taking charge of their future. They've formed this awesome organization called the Arnhem Land Management Company, and they're using their traditional knowledge along with modern science to protect this incredible land. So whether you're hanging with the Yolngu in the east or the Bininj in the west, you're guaranteed an unforgettable cultural experience in Arnhem Land. Just remember to show respect, listen to the stories, and open your mind to a whole new way of life. So, you're probably thinking, okay, this Arnhem Land place sounds awesome, but what can I actually do there? Well, my friend, get ready for the adventure of a lifetime. First things first, ditch the phone. Yeah, you heard me right. Arnhem Land is a digital detox zone. No Wi-Fi, no social media, just you and the raw beauty of nature. You can explore those epic waterfalls, hike through ancient rainforests, and swim in crystal clear swimming holes. And if you're a fishing fanatic, get ready to cast your line in some of the most pristine waters on the planet. Arnhem Land is a fishing paradise. You can hook barramundi, mangrove jack, and even the elusive Saratoga. And at the end of the day, kick back and relax under the stars. Arnhem Land has some of the most incredible night skies you will ever see. It's the perfect place to escape the hustle and bustle and just breathe. But the best part? Getting to know the Aboriginal people and their culture. Learn about their ancient traditions, listen to their Dreamtime stories, and maybe even try your hand at throwing a spear or gathering some bush tucker. It's an experience that will change your perspective forever. So, what are you waiting for? Pack your bags, grab your permit. They only issue a limited number each year, so plan ahead and get ready for the adventure of a lifetime in Arnhem Land. And hey, if you've ever been to Arnhem Land or if you're planning a trip, drop a comment below and share your experiences. We'd love to hear your stories and connect with fellow adventurers. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Amazing Journeys for more epic adventures around the globe. Until next time, keep exploring.